Let's check in on that Texas Senate race with Talarico and Paxton. I was looking at the fundraising numbers because I saw some headlines saying that Talarico had raised a lot more money than Paxton in this race. And I'm of the opinion that money only matters sometimes. You look at like Bloomberg's run for the presidency in 2020, where he had millions and millions of dollars funding his campaign and got no traction at all. So it really matters where that money's coming from and what it's being used for, who's donating, that kind of thing. So I was looking into an article by the Texas Tribune that sort of broke down the money in this race. And what is clear is that Talarico has about tripled the amount of donations that Paxton has. Now, caveat to that has happened for every Democrat that has challenged a senator in Texas since at least 2018. And all of them lost, even though they vastly outperformed in fundraising their Republican counterparts or their Republican opponents. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but he has raised a lot more money. So I was looking also at where did that money come from? And what's, I think, a good sign for Talarico is that over 50% of his donations come from small dollar donors, so people who are donating $200 or less. That shows a lot of support from individuals rather than businesses or sort of political activists, right? So that's a good sign for him. Another thing that's interesting is that almost 60% of his donations are coming from within Texas. I was actually surprised by that because I was assuming that he was getting much of his money from Democrats that are excited in other states to try and flip a Senate seat in Texas. There's a lot of talk around this race, but actually 60% of his donations are coming from Texas. And when you look at the map of where those are coming from, he has broad donations from across the counties in Texas. So I'm not saying that he's going to win. I still think he's going to lose. I really do, because I think there's just too much of a hill to climb in Texas. That being said, as gas prices stay up, as immigration enforcement continues to cause problems and make headlines across the nation, and as Republicans lean once again into election fraud rather than the real problems that are facing Americans, his chances continue to go up. And seeing a broad base of support from individuals across Texas for Talarico is an encouraging movement for him. Now, it still remains to be seen whether he can garner support of the Black community in Texas, who have been very skeptical of Talarico. But I'm saying he's moving in the right direction. We'll see if he peaks at the right time, because often you see people peak a couple months too early and start to decline right before. He's putting a ton of money into ads right now. Paxton is not putting much money into ads. So likely what we will see is, as we get closer to the general election in November, Paxton will flood the airwaves. And at that point, will Talarico have any money left to counter that ad campaign? Because really what matters is the last few weeks before the election and whether you can get people out of their houses and to the polls.